Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, RPG Limit Break fans. We have another winter double anti-bingo tournament race here tonight for you. This time it's Luffy taking on Zerocool and some round 2 action. I'm Caleb. I'm in the booth with Fry Teeth. How are you doing, Fry Teeth?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this one tonight. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is an exciting race. Luffy and Zerocool representing two of the newer members to the community, both participating in the recent Duck Derby. Luffy sort of making a name for himself in the Iron Goal and Hardcore races over the past few months, and recently in the Double Dragon event with his co-op partner and our restreamer Lord Fizzlebeef, definitely making some waves. With Zerocool not to be outdone, definitely kind of showing up, showing out in the winter double anti-bingo tournament, having won his first round matchups against, I believe it was Rojo, and Rojo no slouch at these flags at all, having eliminated me in the losers bracket. So Danny's going to drop the gate here in a second, but let's talk quickly about the assigned rows that our runners gave each other. Luffy was given row 4 by Zerocool, and Zerocool in turn received bottom left to top right, that diagonal from use only cursed armor all the way up to defeat carry 1. That is not a very friendly row. So double anti-bingo works in that your opponent gives you a row, you must complete that row. You have to complete your own bingo. It could be any other row or column or diagonal. And then you can kill Chaos. Like, you can go to Chaos and hope that he, looking at this board, gives you the opportunity to cast a spell of every element in battle. So that's going to be a tricky one. None of our runners have to complete that square though, but Zap's a good start there. Zap and Warp, best black magic. How do you feel about that?
Going to be a slow start. I mean, Zap will get you through early, help you take down Garland and the pirates, and then you hope that the level 2 magic is a little bit better.
Yeah.
That white magic is terrible to start, though.
Wall slot force, not the worst. I did miss what the class blurses were for our light warriors, but we do have our item for sale in the herb right here in Canaria, so that's pretty nice. Might be able to afford that early, get some early progression from the Elf Prince down in Elfland Castle. But Zap, I love seeing Zap at level 1. Nothing in the game resists it, and everything in the early game has low enough MDef that it can really put in some work. Not if your black mage gets put to sleep right off the bat from Sleep Touch Imps. But Zap, being time elemental, nothing resists it, and it is the only spell in the game, I guess other than Stop, that we could cast to activate that column 5, row 3 tile. And Sleep Touch Imps, just... Please, just can I get the Topher? I want to show Garland how to go back in time.
So, well, they're both trying to get up there. What do you think of the rows they picked for each other?
Well, there is one intersection in the rows that they gave each other, and it is the use no cabins or houses. That is a tricky one. If there's a good run in the encounter table, it's negligible, because you can just use tents and sort of save scum around the world, provided you can find tents for pretty cheap and get a bunch of them. But tents were available in Canaria, so not going to be the worst here. It's still, it can cost you. It can cost you a race if you get to the end and just blow 20 houses. Can get you a nice disqualification. Speaking from personal experiences, Luffy throws Garland into the Bast, gets a boat from the king, and Princess gives us the crown. Okay. That's the biggest hurdle I see. Both of our racers will have to only used cursed items. So Luffy will at least be able to use blessed armor and only cursed weapons, whereas Zerocool will be forced to use the cursed armor but able to use blessed weapons. I think
Yeah.
I think Zerocool. I mean, defeat Tiamat 1, defeat Carry 1. Those are frustrating because at least we don't. But they could be worse. It could be Bane, Tiamat, and Confuse Carry, where we not only do we have to go down to the bottom of these dungeons to take out a fiend that we don't need to kill, but we have to use a special spell to do it. Like, that makes it worse. Like, the defeat Lich with Cake is probably the easiest one because we can defeat Lich 2 with Cake just as easily as Lich 1. But defeating Tiamat 1 will require Zerocool to find that Chime and Cube. But getting a Mage Stick from the bottom left, that's pretty good. It's going to give us another way to get guaranteed damage and get good turn order there, so we're not going to have to deal with those Sleep Touch Imps for Zerocool. As Luffy's already onto the pirates and zapping them, the pirates took the fighter down, so probably for the best. And there's a ruby, so
Ruby.
lots of sort of decent key items we're getting early. Get lots of leads to follow. Don't buy those cabins, Luffy, please. And Zerocool gets his first piece of negative armor to wear, and cloth -4 is pretty good. Alright, gonna grab his ship and crown. So with these sorts of bingo flags, if you put yourself in Luffy and Zerocool's shoes, where do you go once you clear out Elfland here and you get Fire 3, Ice 3, and Cake?
I'm gonna go turn that crown in pretty much immediately, and then after that head up. I believe we've got free canal with these flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head over and trade in that ruby because that'll get me 2 more items very quickly.
Yeah. And then, depending on, I guess, what shows up is Crescent Lake next on your agenda before we start heading into, well, I guess that would be it. That's the end of the progression. By then we should have the canoe.
Yeah, it depends on what we find at that point. If I find an early canoe, sometimes, I'll head into Ordeals on my way over before getting to Crescent Lake. It's just kind of convenient to go there.
And Luffy, with the cheeky check of Matoya's, gets an Ice +1 shield. And we've got a question in chat. What's the dab mean? Dab is double anti-bingo. It is bingo where not only do you have to get one row all by yourself, your opponent gives you a row that you must absolutely complete. And you can see those rows indicated by the poker chips on the board. Luffy the red must complete the red row of row 4, and Zerocool the green chip must complete the green diagonal bottom left to top right. They are allowed to go into the Temple of Fiends Revisited once they have access with the loot and the key, and to dig up, maybe they're looking for the 3 different lizards on row 2. We don't need to go find Sorias and Agamas in the world where they exist. We know that they're on the carry floor. We know they're on the Lich floor. We can go find them in Topher to light that square. And that's basically a free bingo. Once we go talk to the Hooray Dwarf, that's a free check to do. So row 2, I feel like, is almost like the guaranteed other row to do. For me, I mean, what row would you be, row or column would you be targeting for your second bingo for eye teeth?
That's one I'd definitely look at as Luffy gets the triangle, trading in the herb. I'd also be looking at column 2 because, talking to 5 Cardia Dragons is, slightly longer than talking to the Hooray Dwarf, but not that much. And you're already stuck with the cabins and houses. So yeah, use only blessed equipment, which with the black belt, you don't really need any equipment.
Right. The downside to that is use only blessed equipment is kind of negated by both runners having to use only cursed equipment. So Luffy has to use, well, if he equips a weapon, which he doesn't really need to with that black belt, it has to be cursed. So he could feasibly light both of those squares if he equipped like blessed armor, for instance, where Zerocool is a little bit tighter of a bind, again with the black belt, but he kind of has to hope that I mean, you can't really take both of those and equip anything. So he would just have to run a naked party, where at least Luffy would be able to yeah, Luffy would at least be able to wear like positive armor and still keep both those squares lit.
Yeah, I've been known to run black belt parties all the way through the game and never pick up any equipment.
Well, there's
So
our first.
That combo wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, it's just the mages being naked makes them very susceptible to a lot of damage early on. Like you run into a pack of Gurmaduces on a tile, and wearing like a silver bracelet will keep you alive for most of those encounters, but the minute you don't have anything on, those Gurmadusa hits punch real hard through no absorb. So Astos gives us the loot, which is good. That gets us access to the, oh no, he gets us the crystal. The elf prince gave us the loot, so the loot important. The loot and the key really the only key items that we need.
Zerocool needs the chime and cube since he's got to take down Tiamat.
Yep, and we'll need the airship and canoe to get to carry one, but we're more than likely going to find those for sure. But that's what I love about these bingo flags. You're given the 4 orbs right away, so no fiend dungeon is really required. You really just need to do as much progression as you feel is necessary until you get that loot and key and can get into Topher. And I'm sort of surprised by this bingo board that there isn't like a C as fire skill or poison skill or spell or one of those nasty enemy script tokens. The kind of the trolliest one is the cast a spell of every element in battle. Can be trolly because sometimes a spell that like cake that we saw at level 2, if that rolls high, like that's the only earth elemental spell in the game, so that can make promotion or having to dig around into shops be a little bit of a time sink.
Yeah, overall this board isn't too bad. I think they're both being, they're already having to deal with, definitely one of the worst squares on it, the no cabins or houses.
Yeah. And Matoya gives us the slab, so nothing we can do anything with yet. So Sarah's crown ultimately turning into a fetch that can't be answered just yet. Yeah, that I was talking to Deadpulse, another one of the our current Duckling Supreme to come out of the Duck Derby, and your co-op partner for the Double Dragon on Team Fade to Brack. Talk about a scary team, man. And we're sort of talking about bingo, and I think there's something to be said for the cast a spell in every element in the game, or like defeat Lich with Cake. Like, right, it didn't really matter for this seed because Cake was free and provoke at level 2, but any sort of time you can give your opponent like busy work to like have to go fish for spells or something like that, it's little bitty time saves that you don't have to do. We also got lucky with Nuke being level 3, but there's like clever plays that you can make to cast that non-elemental spell. Like, it doesn't have to be nuke or fade. Like, you can cast harm. Harm qualifies as a non-elemental spell. And I think you could even probably make a greater argument. I don't know if you'd have to get the bingo admins on it, but like technically the healing spells are non-elemental. So you can kind of get outside the box there if you don't have access to fade or nuke. But we get her. I was good. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we recently had a race where the Quake did roll. I think it was level 8, and so and you gotta grind those black mages up pretty high to make sure you've got enough cast of it when you get down to Lich.
Yeah, Cake at level 8 is a pain in the butt. One thing I guess you could do if you really wanted to be cheeky and you're gonna take a grind anyway, we do have Tavern mode on, so you could take your black belt, get it to level, I don't know, because that still promotion would throw it off. But I was just like, you're gonna grind a character anyway, so grind that character, flip it to a black mage, buy Cake, go cast it in battle, and then go turn it back into a black belt. But you would kind of lose out on the MDef growth there with promotion. And yeah, there's lots of ways you can get creative with these completing these squares. So Luffy gets the key and the bottle from Sarda. So running out of places to check, we've got Crescent Lake and did we have Canary locked on for these flags?
We do, and we've got Earth also right now.
Yeah.
Warp, given where you are, I'd probably go to Earth next because you can warp. That's easy in and out.
There's
and then
lightning.
You've never got to come back here again.
Yeah, because like there's no requirement to kill Lich 1. If you want that column 3 row 1 defeat Lich with Cake, you can do that in Topher. But Luffy gonna head to the Canary Armory. So Zerocool slightly behind. Both runners quickly down. Well, Zerocool brought a 3-man party because he wanted that take 1 none. Luffy backed into it. I guess brought the fighter for safety. What kind of party cops do you like to run with? I mean, we do have like tiles, like you see that take 2 white mages, take 2 black mages, take 0-3 fighters, and before we can wax poetic about party comps, Luffy gets big finds here in Canary Armory, gets a ribbon +3, another mage stick, and a floater. So Luffy about to really start making some moves here. How do you what's your party comp thoughts with these sorts of flags, Fry Teeth?
I like to run black belt under any set of flags, but I think it works really well here. And then I typically pick the mages based on what I need from the bingo board.
And J-Man makes an excellent point. Zerocool can't use ribbons because they rolled positively. So another boon there for Luffy if he wants to chase column 2. Because that's a pretty nice thing to be able to equip.
I mean, we've got Zerocool's almost got that second row finished, and I believe Luffy could switch to that if he, gets rid of his fighter at a tavern. He can light that square up.
Which square?
Take 0 or 3 fighters.
Yeah, he could if he but I think it's start and finish. I think it's start and finish. So he started with a fighter, so I don't think he can turn that one back on. Which is really just like an interesting choice of why he chose to bring a fighter when that's really such a free row, all things considered.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because he's not bringing that fighter back up at all.
Yeah. Just at that point, it's just why not just bring the nun or bring another like bring a white mage just for something, you know, that extra survivability. Because the unless we miss something with the class blurses, but Luffy's gonna see if he needs to come back to Earth Cave anytime soon, and there's promotion. No promote as soon as possible, or do not promote tile. So tail's a nice to have, but not a required.
Maybe for him, the best thing about tail is it gets you extra experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely not should be overlooked. As Luffy's gonna head to the ice cave to start working on his required row here, and Zerocool checking out the Hall of Giants. Doesn't need this row, but if he walks this Hall of Giants, I did see him take out a big zombie pack with like geists and ghouls. So if he finds the other one with the or it was Geist Inspectors, if he finds the one with the zombies and ghouls, that's that row for him. And that's a pretty quick bingo too. The nice thing is about checking these spike tiles is you can kind of start lopping off major enemy clusters, whether it's types of lizards, ogres, giants, zombies, whatever shows up on your board. It's always good to find them through spike tiles instead of having to dig them out. And Zerocool gets his first house from a box.
He's checking out the spike tile, so he may be going for that defeat every trap tile in the ice cave.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what he's here to do. And he even gets a free ogre here too, so it's a shame it's the ogre and creep, not the ogre Groger fight. It can be on a spike tile, but he is, once he gets past these shadows, 2 spike tiles away, as Zerocool into the Earth Cave. We saw the canoe from ice, so know that this isn't going to be the map progression that Zerocool needs. And we get sharks and sahags.
Pretty easy spike tiles so far.
Mm-hmm. Nothing too nasty. Yeah, there's the specters and geists. So if he could find the zombie ghouls, which aren't here in Earth Cave but might be on a spike tile, that's pretty good. Might be able to just kind of walk around on the first floor of Temple of Fiends to find that fight as well, or within the Marsh Cave or its surrounding areas. Nightmare Evilman. Alright, so if Luffy can get through this fight, which, yeah, that's good information. That's a grind right there. Those went down really easy as he gets a cabin in a box, and that's could be problematic. And Zerocool visits the Bat Party Room, all but briefly. And there's our Groger Ogre. Not interested in killing that green ogre. Ooh, what I said about this being a grind, one of those enemies had glands. And the Evilman with thunder. So Luffy pressed his luck, but gets through, and now do we have a soft potion as Zerocool gets the rod, which is really good here. Not required, but it's just, I mean, if you wanted to keep going, it's the most trolly placement for the rod, I think.
Fortunately, Luffy had just enough warps to get back out of there.
Yeah, that's really good. So Luffy, skin of his teeth, gets through the ice cave, and both of our runners making, I mean, Zerocool's definitely got more coverage on the board, and he's 3 lizards away, so I don't think I've seen him kill an iguana, and I definitely haven't seen him fight an Agama or a Soria, but he's that and like killing Tia and Carrie away, so from hitting 2 bingos. So Zerocool has lots of options on the board here for his bingos. And none of them really require any major commitments outside of his forced row. Oh, gold bracelets -3. Better for Zerocool than Luffy. But we're not. We're gonna buy them. So the minute he equips those negative gold bracelets, yep, column 2 is out for Luffy.
I'm sure Zerocool will be happy to get his floater here, but not so thrilled to see that ribbon +3 that he can't use.
Yeah, that ribbon feels bad. And there's, yep, Luffy's getting his Wizogre Groger. We saw him light the square. This is how he got there. So curious to know why. I mean, Luffy hasn't equipped a cursed weapon or a blessed weapon, so that square can be lit. So he just has to go walk the Hall of Giants for his guarantee, or for his forced row, rather. As Zerocool sails to the Ryokan Desert to grab his airship. Oh yeah, this is coming together pretty quickly. Luffy looking for a grind now that Nightmare Evilman sort of backfired. And Zerocool Airborne, I would imagine we'll have probably similar routing, or maybe?
So where are you going to go next to look for your grind?
Oh, Luffy gets another ribbon. I think if I'm Luffy, I like the volcano play. It's spike tiles that are relatively easy to get to, and the fighter mage here is probably good enough for me. It's not the best, but you know, it's not the double fighter. Like the double fighter would be a lot better. But there's still 3 more spike tiles to check in this dungeon if we want. With we have the Agama tile and the red D tile, and we can check both. Like we can just dive right down to the basement, check them both, and but they have like no HP. As Zerocool turns in the bottle, gets the TNT. So I guess that's what we're seeing Zerocool do. We're gonna do these big turn-ins and head right back to the Dwarf Cave. I'm surprised that we didn't go down to Lefane. Masa is out there, so if Masa rolled positive, that could be good for Zerocool and a problem for Luffy. But oh, Luffy giving us the quick look. Quick look at one of the verses, but I missed it.
He's definitely committing to this grind because he's unequipped his mages, so hopefully die faster for him.
And already 21, so once well, you're a black belt guy. Like 21, big break point here. Oh, thank you, Rock Solid in chat, pointing out that it looked like 2 bonuses to hit percentage and a -20 to HP, which is negligible with the black belt's vitality. And any bonus to the black belt's hit percentage is just going to turn him into a fist blender, like going to do crazy damage. We might even see the rare 12-hit black belt by the time Luffy finishes this grind.
Zerocool turns in his TNT to get the adamant, which gets him the chime that he needs.
Yeah, that's a good find. So just a cube away, I would imagine Ice Cave is next for him. And I think by deduction, it's either Masa or Cube in Ordeals and Waterfall?
Waterfall. And Lefane.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's Lefane, so there's one more. What's the other item out there that we're missing?
Scott,
Is there more gear than the moss and the flags?
I believe there's 2 dot items.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any duds yet, so with those on the table, what's your priority? Is it waterfall? Is it ordeals? Sky? What are you thinking? That's a curious path through this volcano floor.
Some of it may depend on what we find here at the bottom of Volcano.
Yeah, that's true, because he does have to come in here for the carry 1 fight, and he gets the grind news. And finds it on us. This is a slightly more advantageous tile to get this fight on, because we can walk up and down here and not take these off-step encounters where Luffy, and we haven't seen anything nasty in Volcano. It doesn't mean that there isn't anything nasty in Volcano. But Luffy, every time he takes that step to the left, progresses that encounter table and risks an off-step encounter.
Higher grind to that happening. That's never a good feeling.
Oh, and Zerocool is taking the fight up and down instead of moving down and getting that off-step encounter or off-step on the bottom row of the room. But it should be okay. Slightly more powerful enemies on this floor for Zerocool that he could run into. Like he could back into a red D that might hit real hard. Agamas exist on this floor. Fires exist on this floor, I believe. Whereas the floor that Luffy's on, I think the nastiest floating encounters like gargoyles that could have a nasty script. But Zerocool going to use the lava to help his grind along. Another advantage to using the Gurworm tile that both of our runners are beating up mages and fighters on.
Yeah, it's interesting that, you know, with the early key, my favorite grind spots are the Temple of Fiends Locked and Northwest Castle.
Yeah, those are usually really good. Especially considering that they're also free encounters where you don't have to worry about offsteps. You know, and Temple of Fiends, if you take the bottom right room, you're going up and down between the doorway. If you take the top room, you're going left and right or up and down, but neither of those offsteps will trigger an encounter. And all of the there's no encounter table in Northwest Castle. There's just the 2 spike tiles.
I like that grind so much, you're never gonna use that grind trying to get out.
Yeah, unless you slip on a banana peel and bump into one of the other tiles. Like if you're taking the spike tile in Northwest on the far right box, and then you're trying to walk out of the room, you kind of slip on that banana peel and hit that tile on the central box. I think it's the only way that could happen. And Zerocool in a little bit of trouble. I don't know if we have the heal pots to support a grind, but we need turn order and to these mages to not. Oh, that was Zerocool. Please have heal pots. Zerocool, please have heal pots.
If he doesn't, he's walking out.
Oh no, Zerocool. And he can't use a house either, so he has to. Oh, Zerocool. Please, Zerocool. Please, Zerocool. This is so stressful. That black belt has 1 HP by this point, and very deliberate with our steps. This is the danger floor. There's a lot of fights. Oh no. That feels bad. So Zerocool lost about 3 to 4 minutes there. Luffy's still in the middle of his grind. It's not an insurmountable time loss, but it definitely doesn't feel good, and there's probably some tilt building on Zerocool's side as we see an adjustment here to switch to the Volcano Armory spike tile. Gonna go back to using the lava to melt those mages. I like it, but I also like. I would throw those mages in the front row, and we're using it specifically to melt the white mage. Okay. That way the black mage can throw out some nukes, throw out some mage sticks, and just sort of help that early grind along. And Zerocool does not want to light that kill 3 different ogre style.
And that's exactly what Luffy did. He kept those black mages up until he ran out their spells, and
yeah.
by the time he had done that, the black belt could just kill everything easily.
Yeah, and you can see Luffy punching the fighter and then using the mage stick on the mages. Heads up play there. Otherwise, it would take like 4 rounds to get through this fight. And Luffy, if he gets good rolls with the mage stick, can do it in 2, maybe 3. So not an insignificant choice here. Already level 43. Said that's enough. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to build a tent. And then I'm going to go blow up the world and walk through this Hall of Giants. And that Hall of Giants walk, I mean, with the Zombles and this XP scaling might get them to level 50 too.
And I think were they unrunnable?
I don't recall.
I know when Zerocool was in there, at least one of the encounters in the Hall of Giants was unrunnable.
Yeah. I mean, Zombles are still like, not the worst encounter in the world. It's good gold, but I mean, obviously we don't need gold anymore. Yeah, question for Luffy is definitely going to be, why did we bring that fighter? What was the intent there? Because it's just seems to keep us from getting 2 squares. Because if we do the Zerocool strategy with the nuns, like we could take if this is the party we wanted to run with black belt, double black, I mean, we could do this and light up that take 1 nun and the take 0 to 3 fighters, but it's interesting play. Alright, time to walk through this Hall of Giants for Luffy. Yep, and you're right, the Zombles were unrunnable.
Zerocool's got his heal pots now. He's going to come back and grind some more.
Oh, it's Caribs. Oh, at least they're running, so it's going to make this a little bit easier.
Makes this pretty easy.
Gators aren't going to really morale break, but, you know. Little bitty experience for our mages as well. Yeah, doing this at a high level with the chance that those enemies are going to morale break. It's a heads up play for Luffy. Make this walk a lot quicker. Now, when dealing with double anti-bingo, there is the specter of the metagame hanging over the entire race, because you see what your opponent's doing as your opponent's doing it. Our runners are required to light squares as soon as they achieve the goal. How much does that factor into your strategy, Fryteeth, when you're racing these flags and you see your opponent start to light stuff up?
So I'll let you know on Monday after I have my first ever race like this.
Okay.
But you know, it depends on what I'm seeing them light up. You know, seeing them light up something like kill 3 ogres. I mean, yeah, they've got something like that, but that doesn't make me nervous. But when you have the square, you know, level 1 character up to level 40, when you see your opponent light that one up, that one gets your attention, because you know they're
They've been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's certain ways you can read into it, like when you have like see a fire skill or spell from an enemy, and you see that lit up very early on. Luffy, why are we talking to dragons? Luffy, why are we talking to dragons? There's nothing that this row can do for us, because we can't take a 1. we can't take a none, and we've equipped negative equipment. So it's a bold strategy from Luffy, lighting up a square he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like if it's like see a poison skill or spell, and your opponent lights it up in the first 5 minutes, you're just like, what enemy did you see with that? Like, was it imps? Did you just get like different turn order than me? Did you was it on wolves? Like what encounter did you see that you saw poison within the first 5 minutes of the game? Because if you didn't see it, you at least know you can come back here to dig that skill out. Unless you over level and it was imps with a first turn glance, but your level 40 black belt morale breaks them all. So
Yeah, the promote as soon as possible is another one that gives you good information from your opponent, because if they get that quickly, then you know there's stuff, the floater is early.
Alright, Luffy's digging up an iguana. I don't know if he's read that bottom row and used only blessed equipment. Because he's definitely used cursed equipment. So Luffy, ceding time here to Zerocool, who's on his way to defeat Carry 1. Has his black belt right where he wants him. And gonna check to see if this is his cube. As Luffy completes his first bingo and realizes that he's never equipped a weapon.
So now, which road do you go after if you're Luffy to complete your second one?
That's the problem with Luffy's choices. If we had taken the Nun and 0 fighters, row 2 all day long, it's a free row. Like, you just 2 of those lizards are in Topher. One of them is on the world map and in a couple dungeons, like alongside giants. Like, we could find them in Volcano. We could potentially find it on a spike tile. We could find it in the Earth Cave. Like, iguanas are a pretty ever-present enemy. But with what we're dealt, he can't take the bottom left to top right, because we've equipped blessed armor in the ribbon, so that bottom row is out altogether. As is column 1, as is that diagonal. So like, we start getting ourselves in a bind. Like, we can't take the top left to bottom right because we can't take a Nun. So we can't take the top row. We can't take the second row. We have to take the third row. We have to take the third row, the third column, or the fourth column. No, we can't take the fourth column because we didn't bring 2 white mages. So Luffy's in a bind where he has to take row 3 or column 3. And he's not pursuing any of those squares, so he's in trouble until he realizes that this iguana hunt isn't going to pay out for him. So
yeah, this is going to be interesting as to what this does, because it looked like he was quite a bit ahead after getting that grind, but he's having some difficulty.
Yeah, and he's definitely fixated. Like, and Zerocool getting a freebie here, getting a Frost Giant early. That's that's one more thing that we can kind of like remember, like when we're looking for our second bingo for Zerocool. Like, hey, I killed a Frost Giant Ice Cave. I can find giants pretty commonly in the Earth Cave, or maybe on the Armory Floor Volcano. We probably won't go back there, or on the world map. On the way to Lefane or all around Crescent. Like, we can find giants, and we can find red giants in Topher alongside Agamas. Because Zerocool in a good spot to get row 2 and complete his required row. Once he gets the cube, which is looking more and more likely that it's going to be an Ordeals or Waterfall.
So what did he get out of Volcano? Missed that.
Volcano was something. Volcano was Oxyale. Yeah, Volcano was Oxyale. So Zerocool gonna talk to the Lefinians and cross his fingers and hope for a cube. You get a gold bracelet -3,
First.
so we're first stud. Don't want to go to Ordeals? Let's go to Ordeals. Zerocool. Let's see what's in there. We got 3 spike tiles in here that might net us an enemy that we want to find. Saber-Tease Catman, that's a fight we never want to see. Question from chat, did he equip a sword? Yes, he equipped something. I think he went out of his way to buy a negative rapier. So, might be some confusion there about what that tile means for Luffy, because Fizzlebeef in chat pointing out that if you never equip a weapon, positive or negative, you can check use only cursed weapons, because you didn't use any weapons. So, but but it also precludes him from. I mean, column 2 has been out ever since he equipped negative gold bracelets. So, but it looks like he is working on his cast a spell of every element in battle, so that at least gets him progress on row 3. But kill 4 zombies, like that's pretty rough. I have not seen if he's been actively talking to bats while he's here. I would hope he is.
I think he just realized that he hasn't been.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the best place to do. Yeah. This is the best place to do it. Bat party room, there's like 7 of them in there. Which is good, because I think that means that Luffy realizes that he has to do column 3 or row 3. And this is a good floor to dig up zombies. The Geist Inspector encounter is here on Earth 3. Yep, and now he can check. Yep, he can check the bat party room.
Where it doesn't help him at all.
Yeah, I have noticed that some runners will not check squares that they've satisfied if they don't if that's not a bingo that they're chasing. And there's the cube for Zerocool. So, and a big old piece of steak. So that means waterfalls are other dead. Alright, Zerocool just needs to find zombies and ghouls and kill Tiamat.
Himself some lizards.
Mm-hmm. Right, and yeah, I was looking at column 1, like, because he could also Zerocool could just go walk the Hall of Giants too. And I guess Luffy had found zombies and ghouls because he just lit up to kill 4 different zombies. Maybe he got them in TOF. Have a run, Luffy. And I wonder if Luffy's lost track of how many bats he's talked to. I definitely feel like he's talked to 10.
I guess it's one of those things you just talk to a couple more just to be on the safe side if you're not sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, he lit up the square now, so.
Yeah. Alright. Zerocool gonna climb the tower. Luffy has to go around and find the cube and the chime and do all these fetches that Zerocool has already done. This is gonna be a tight race.
Zerocool may be in the lead at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if Luffy's sort of fumble there in the mid game following his grind. It's going to come back and cost him because he was definitely ahead by a little bit after Zerocool lost his initial grind.
Yeah, because Luffy's still got to trade in that bottle and head to Dwarfs, and then he's got to get through ordeals.
Yeah. And if you're if you're Zerocool and you hit this teleporter maze and you see Warmech, do you fight him?
What level is his black belt? Do you know?
Pretty good. That's about all I got. It's a pretty good level. He's not terrible, but doesn't look like we're gonna bump into Warmech, so.
Yeah, if he's not out of the way, I take him out.
Yeah, same. I like to take Warmech if I'm curious if my party's Topher. Black belt's 35. Yeah, just as like a Topher tune-up. Do I have the power to get through? And because the levels never hurt, you know, it's a big chunk of experience. Tiamat here, throwing out Dark. Cad the black belt, doing about 400 damage a punch. I don't know, did we find Fast? Yeah, Fast was level 6, so. Alright, there's Tiamat, so that's a bingo for Zerocool, and that's his required bingo. So both of our runners have met that requirement. Now, Zerocool needs to find some lizards or some zombies and walk through the Hall of Giants. Start casting some spells or go defeat every trap. Like, Zerocool has a ton of options based on what he's done. And I think that's sort of the narrative here. Zerocool picked a party that gave him options. It only blocked him out of 2 squares to take 2 black mages and take 2 white mages. Where Luffy sort of took that fighter for reasons, and it sort of hamstrung him.
If Luffy hadn't taken that fighter, he'd be working on that row 2 and be just about done right now.
Yeah.
He's unfortunately going to make the waterfall play, which we know is not what he needs. But...
yeah. He does have warp and a reset button, so there's that.
I like that he saved, I believe, when he put the airship down and didn't save again. So as soon as he gets that dud, he's going to be able to reset right back there.
Mm-hmm.
his position, I'd make the exact same play. Ordeals is the last place I go once I've got the airship.
Yeah, it feels bad, but it's a quicker walk than Waterfall, I feel like, because the overworld travel is about the same. The encounters are a little bit easier in my mind, and with Warp, it can be a lot quicker. But I mean, Waterfall, it's a coin flip, I guess. All right, where's Zerocool gonna go? And there's our other dud, $183. And now Luffy knows I've made all the wrong decisions. I have to go to Ordeals. What a pain. And Zerocool, where you going? Finished up spells? Or are we looking for more negative gear to wear? Ooh. Ooh, are we looking for gloves, cap, buckler, and cloth? Because, I mean, if that's the case, Zerocool ran away from a lot of ogre fights that would have got him that kill 3 different ogre tile.
Can't imagine he'd be going after that one because, well, maybe he is. That means he's got to go kill Lich.
Yeah. I mean, the Lich, Cake was level 2, and we can get Lich with Cake and Topher. So he just needs the Groger and Wizogre, which was a pretty common encounter here in Volcano. So we're gonna come back, and Zerocool's gonna look for these ogres that he left behind. Now, if he's a better runner than me, he probably remembered where they were in the encounter table. Might as well open some boxes while we're... He got a cap that he just went out of his way to find. Nope, not Mux. Not Peds. And this, I think, highlights the benefit of, like, just... If the seed is going to give you a square, just take it. You know, like the 3 different ogres. So... comment from Demon Frog saying he doesn't think Agamas are on this floor. I don't think he's looking for Agamas, considering he went out of his way to buy a cap. I'm pretty sure he's going for column 3, which means he's here looking for the Wizogre and Groger fight, which we've seen here.
Now, should we be putting that black belt in the back, though? Because the last thing you want is for those ogres to run away when you find them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Especially with as much trouble as he's having finding them right now.
J-Man does bring up a good point. It does count if they run, as long as you win the fight. So that's a good point. So if he finds those Grogers and Wizogres and they flee, that's a win condition for Zerocool.
I thought you actually had to kill them.
Mm-mm. How long do you spend looking for them? As Zerocool's trying all the different encounter spots you can. Every encounter spot in this floor is going to be the same encounter table.
For me, I would probably be looking for the lizards at this point, because you're losing time here, and you still got to go down. I mean, you can kill Lich too, but
yeah,
that just seems a lot riskier. You know, running in. You know, if you can find the iguana, then you can running into the Saurias and the Agamas in Topher is usually pretty routine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a case of FOMO for Zerocool. It's like, they were here about like 20 minutes ago. Where'd they go? Feels bad. And there they are. Were they on that spike tile the whole time? Were they on the fire spike tile? Oh no, that wasn't the spike tile. It was the square right above it. So there's the 3 ogres. So now we just got to go find whatever equipment we're missing. I know we have a cap. I know we saw a cloth from a box, but I don't know if that was on Zero's cool screen or Luffy's. And Luffy's about to finish his second bingo and head into Topher. See if the lack of white magic on his party proves to be a problem. Or if he's just going to take a page out of the Trash Island Fire Department playbook and just go all speed and power.
And that black belt is, I think, 48 or 49 at this point, so I don't think he's going to have any problems going through.
There's a buckler. So what else do we need? We got a cap, buckler, gloves. We just need cloth. That negative cloth that somebody found in a box earlier. But I guess we're going to go to Gaia. Or Elfland. Alright, Luffy heading into Topher. There's our... Still no negative cloth. Oh, it's gonna feel bad if it's in Canary the whole time. Luffy heading into Luffy.
Canary either.
Yeah, so I think it's in Gaia. I think that's the last place it could be. Which feels bad, because again, we were in Gaia 20, 30 minutes ago. And based on reports from the future, it looks like he found it. So Zerocool going to be coming to Topher a few minutes behind Luffy, but with the support of the White Mage, should something go sideways here, Luffy able to equip those ribbons, Zerocool not able to equip ribbons. Zerocool being able to cast Wall, though. It's gonna be interesting here. Gonna come down to the wire for sure, if anything goes sideways for Luffy here.
Yeah, but with that black belt at 49 now, something would really have to go wrong for him to have to restart.
Yeah, I mean, where HP for the Black Mages isn't very high. If we get an opening nuke, not from that Lich. So Lich took 1800 damage on the chin and just decided to just let the party through. Like, you know what? You guys can just go.
I've run so many Tophers, solo for the last 3 floors of the black belt. It's just, at this scaling, it feels pretty routine.
Almost 4,000. Yeah, it's yeah, when we start hitting the Kraken Tia floors, that we might start seeing some evasion creep into the play here. And Luffy just unclicked kill 4 different zombies. That might have just been a misclick. Or did he just realize that he has not killed zombies and ghouls? I didn't think he had, but I wasn't sure. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but awkward. So heads up from Luffy realizing that he dropped it. But yeah, Marsh is a good play. Top floor TOF is a good play for zombies, ghouls. Yeah, again, just a small little misstep. There's ghouls. Zombies we can dig up outside Marsh. So, all right. Where's the zombie? I like to play a check and spike tiles. And Zerocool preparing for his cake fight here. The only way he gets through this is with cake. Clarification from Lord Fizzlebeef in chat. Zombies only appear in TOF and in Marsh Cave. So we're checking spike tiles, and Lich has Bane, and down goes our cake caster. We got ourselves a race. So Luffy checking spike tiles for zombies, needs to go to the Marsh Cave or Temple of Fiends and just wander around.
So seeing that Bane on Lich 2, do you maybe consider going back to Lich 1? No, it's going to take more time.
No, I think you just have, so the first spell was not Bane. You just have the white mage cast wall and the black mage and just go right back in. Luffy going to spike tiles. Luffy, we checked this spike tile on our way to Tiamat. Did we forget what it is? I forgot what it is. Luffy, there's only one spike tile here. Where are we? Luffy? Are we? Luffy, come back to the game. What are we? Alright, so Luffy, looking for something. Zombies do not appear on Sky 1. Question from chat, what is Luffy digging for?
I'm not sure.
It's a good question, chat. I think we're seeing a little bit of tilt on Luffy's screen. I mean, to be on the Kraken floor and reset out because you forgot to kill a zombie. And what? So the only enemies that are acceptable kills for that tile are the enemies that use the zombie sprite. So the zombie, the ghoul, the geist, and the specter. No other undead enemy satisfies the requirements of this fight. But there's cake for Zerocool.
Best one.
So that's 2 bingos, and now the pressure has got to be building on Luffy. Think about those encounter tiles. What are we looking for? And the white mage is down for Zerocool, so still kind of dangerous here. Zerocool's black belt not as high, and Carrie's got Bane.
Much harder one for Zerocool, because that black belt isn't as high level as Luffy's was.
Luffy, what are you looking for, bud? Alright, Zerocool gonna try the 2-man Kraken with Black Mage, Black Belt. And we're gonna get our first look at Kraken too. Comment from chat, if he's looking for zombie and a zombie dragon, that wouldn't count, and they're not on this floor either. So the only enemies that count are those ones that use the zombie sprite. And those enemies stop showing up basically after Earth Cave, or after Ice Cave, like naturally.
And Zerocool with that unrunnable water fight, he's lost his Black Mage also.
Oh no, and Luffy used the eye. The eye does not count as a zombie. Alright, I'm gonna reach out to him and let him know.
Zerocool does make it through Kraken, but he's out of heal pots, and he's only got 600 HP left, so this is going to be really tough to get through.
Oh, that feels real bad. Feels real bad for Luffy. He needs to kill an actual zombie. But Zerocool gonna take on Chaos here. And 5 hits 50. Uh-oh, 511. Slow 2 comes out. 5 hits 274. And rip. And Zerocool needs to make an adjustment here, as Luffy needs to go kill an actual zombie.
Yeah, Zerocool was out of heals.
That feels bad. Alright, I did tell Luffy in the race time chat that that enemy that he killed does not count as a zombie, and he's still pushing forward. I guess I'll copy paste that into the bingo room. I don't know which chat he's looking at more. Trying to catch him before he gets to the bottom here and has his has to do this all over again. Pretty sure that's what we're supposed to do.
Zerocool's heading right back in. I ought to go a little easier for him this time, because he can just punch Lich 2 out instead of, and hopefully avoid the Bane that took out his White Mage last time.
Alright, Luffy did respond in the bingo room, and he was confused, thought the eyes did count, so... Alright. He's gonna go hunt for a zombie. Alright. So, we know that they're... He's looking overworld. Needs to go to Marsh or TOF. Gets ghouls right out the gate. He had already killed those because they showed up with Geists. Oh boy. Alright, so Zerocool continuing his dive. At least Luffy has the knowledge of what he needs to do now. Luffy gotta go to Marsh Cave. Go to the Marsh Cave. There's ghouls, but we've already killed these as well. Alright, well at least he knows that that's the only two there. And he still needs to get just zombies. Did he kill a zombie earlier? And I'm just going crazy?
I have no idea.
Oh, and something's got stone on Zerocool.
Barely survived that.
Because if that's the case, because we definitely saw him kill specters and ghoul, or geists and ghouls and specters. Like we saw him kill all three of those in the between the Earth Cave and Ice Cave. I just don't know if I saw him kill a zombie. And the fact that he unchecked it makes me think that he doesn't know if he did either.
Yeah, I wasn't keeping track of those earlier on. So.
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't think anybody was going to go for that row.
I know he never... I don't think... No one's ever been into Marsh Cave.
Yeah. It says regular zombie does exist in TOF, and so there's that, but...
Zerocool does get through Lich 2 this time, and still got both of his mages.
Yeah, the upside is that he caked Lich on that one dive, so he doesn't have to do that anymore. He can just punch through it and doesn't have to worry about that early Bane. Cool. And Lord Fizzlebeef, our restream, we're going to go back and see if he can review Luffy's TOF dive from early in the game to see if Luffy did in fact get a zombie. But here's Lich 2. Big punch. 2200 damage. And Luffy's black belt is just all gas right now, just burning through this Topher.
So I loaded it up also, at least early on. He went straight to Garland, killed Garland, and went right to Sarah. So unless there was a zombie kill later on, it doesn't look like it.
It feels bad. Yeah, unless there was like a random spike tile that we missed. There could be that, so... Alright, Kraken 2. Big punch there. Got 7 hits, 908 damage, and there we go. Simultaneous, almost near simultaneous Kraken fights as Zerocool exits as Luffy enters, and Luffy just punches through. And Luffy on to Tia 2. The question of the day is, did Luffy hit a zombie spike tile that we just didn't see? I mean, that's entirely possible. But Luffy's black belt just making short work, just showing off the difference of what a handful of levels can, the difference it can make between two black belts. As Luffy's been able to just one punch everything, and Zerocool 3-punch and stuff.
He's also got fast. I haven't seen Zerocool casting fast at all, so I don't know if he didn't pick that up.
Alright, and there's chaos for Luffy. The bingo admins will come in and make sure that everything's above board. But yeah, there's Luffy's finish with an official time of 1:17:50. Win TBD, but as of right now, he's our on-stream finisher. So, as here comes Zerocool looking to finish it up. Not getting nowhere near as much of a damage output as Luffy was getting, but 7 hits 280. We're gonna keep punching through him. Meanwhile, we'll try to get Luffy in here for interview. We'll kind of talk about, get thoughts and stuff. And there it is for Zerocool. So with a difference of about a minute, we're gonna talk to them and see if Luffy, GG's buddy.
Hey guys, how you doing? Did I mess up or am I okay?
We don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I'm fairly certain I got a zombie early on, but that was a train wreck.
So the zombies, we were talking a lot about them. They only show up in Topher, in Temple of Fiend's first floor, and in the Marsh Cave. Mm-hmm. There is a B-side encounter with them, so we may have seen them on a spike tile.
There was something on a spike tile in Ice Cave. I'm just not positive which one it was.
Yeah, I think it was. I think that's where we saw Geist and Spectres. I don't know if you got a zombie.
I'm not sure either. I messed up. And then I thought, let me go try an eye, and then I'm standing there on the floor like forever, and it was GG's Zerocool. I think you beat me, but that was fun anyway.
We'll have the we'll make Dark Moon or one of the other bingo admins come in and look at it, but there was also some concern about the cast the spell of every element in battle. I wasn't really keeping track. I know that's one that's very note intensive, so and that's very important to bring a Black Mage for.
I know I got time and fire, lightning, ice. Yeah, again, I'm not positive.
Did you get Brack or Bane?
No. So
rip.
Yep. It was fun while it lasted. See, like I'm thinking that was like you know, fire, ice, and lightning. Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah, it's all of the 8 elements. So like death, earth is in there, and status.
Right.
So you would have to like throw like a blind or a stun or something out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I did not think this went well for me.
Well, as someone who blew hoisted by their own petard on the bingo card, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Upside, it's double elimination, so it's not over yet.
Right.
But man, that's it's pretty brutal because you ran a really clean run. Like you were pistons were firing. I think what did you in the most was the party comp.
Yeah.
So we got Zerocool in the booth, but before we talked to Zerocool, we sort of explained what's going on. Walk me through your party comp, Luffy. Why take the fighter just to kill him?
I took the fighter because it had white mage magic, and I wanted to see where that rolled. And at the end of the day, I probably just should have taken a white mage and damned that off and took that 0 or 3 fighter tile.
Yeah.
You know, because there was just nothing in white magic. If they had black belt vitality, I'm like, oh, maybe there'll be a meat shield for me at some point. And yeah, wasn't very smart. And I just couldn't find any lizards either. So that's when I switched gears and tried something else.
And we're joined by Zerocool. Zerocool, congratulations.
GG's, brother.
This was we'll call it a misstep from Luffy, where Luffy marked 2 boxes on his bingo board that they didn't actually complete. So
I'm a liar.
no, it was definitely. I mean, like it's a lot to try to keep track of, especially with how many of these tiles you have. Like, there's 3 kill tiles or 4 kill tiles on this board, which is a lot, as well as like they cast the spell of every element. Like those are note intensive flags, as well as like trying to keep track of, did I use a cabin, did I use a house, which you guys both did great jobs only building tents. The cursed gear, or the way they interacted with the blessed equipment, like we were talking about how like Luffy could probably go for column 2 if you never equipped those gold bracelets -5. You probably could have got away with using only cursed weapons and equipping only blessed equipment.
Yeah, I thought about that, but then when I knew I equipped them, I'm like, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, so lots of stuff to keep track of, lots of weird interactions across the bingo squares, and unfortunately Luffy joined me and Zenobian, and there's probably other people that will be in this the DQ club. But Zerocool, like, not to take anything away from your run, just a minute behind Luffy. You guys were into Topher initially, super close to one another, within 2 minutes, I think, of your first Topher dives. So Zerocool, I've talked way too much, and after I said GG, I'm going to let you talk now. Respond.
Well, yeah, getting that second call of that second row was the mind-boggling, because I was gonna actually go for the 3 lizards, but then I was like, you know what?
Same.
I'm not finding lizards, so I went and I'm like, I can find all 4 of these items, and then I was gonna give Lich the cake. Instead of going all the way down Earth, though, as you saw in my Topher run, I kept running to Lich 2 to cake him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the smart play. And all like everything, because you have to bump into Lich 2 along the way and cake at level 2. I think that's the heads up play there. Hit Lich having early Bane and you not being able to equip those +3 ribbons is a different story, though.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, yeah, that spell of every element in battle, yeah, curse that spot so bad.
Yeah, I thought I was smart. I was pretty dumb.
Yeah, it's more than just the 4 elemental like fiend type things. It's all of them in the game, and including non-elemental. I think even is supposed to count, but
well, let's see. It's if you don't find a zapper stop.
Yeah, there's the big one is Cake. Like, Cake is the only Earth Elemental spell in the game. Zap at least is offset by Stop having Time Element. Non-element is like, there's a lot of non-elemental spells like the Tempers and Cures and Harms. Like, all those technically count as non-elemental. Status is a little tricky because you got to like land a stun or a blind. Or
no, you don't have to land it technically. It does say
you just gotta cast it. Yeah, you just gotta cast it. But you got to find them, right? You got to waste a turn in combat, at least, I guess. And then there's the Fire, Ice, Lightning, the elemental sweepers. But it's a lot to track. But
I'm still learning.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, I do feel bad. I do feel bad winning on a technicality on that. No one likes to be the victor just because of a bingo spot or 2 had a mishap.
Don't even think about it like that, man. Technically, you would have beaten me by quite a bit because I'd still be looking for stuff. So GG's all the way.
Yeah, thanks. Going with my trusty black belt strat is still keeping me going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to see like mirror comps with what you guys ran, but Luffy took the fighter.
I don't know why. Still perplexed.
Scholars to this day question the fighter pick, because like it was. I mean, I understand the logic of why you took it for the mechanics within the seed, but like the bingo board, like taking that fighter locked you out of 2 rows, 2 columns, and 1 diagonal that just like you like to keep as many options open on the board as you can. And Zerocool, you did a great job, like sort of like keeping your options open for what that second bingo was going to be. I think the only sort of constructive criticism I can offer would be there were several times where you had ogres and ran from them.
Yeah, I realized that after the fact.
Because it's just, yeah, so we saw you go back to Volcano and sort of spin your wheels on that that armory floor, trying to dig them up, and it's just like a cautionary tale. Like the seed gives it to you early on, take it, even if you don't think you need it. But yeah, this is a lot of fun to watch. Fryteeth, I've been talking for like all the minutes since they joined the booth. Please ask some questions, do stuff.
Yeah, so I guess we can look ahead a little bit. Zerocool, you're gonna get the winner of Dead Pulse and Chanigan. Any thoughts on that matchup?
Well, it was a good run, boys.
I don't envy you at all.
It's double elimination, man. Nothing is over unless you're me and you blow up your race on it. But yeah, Chanigan pulling the upset over Sawney Wrath in the big duck over vet match just a couple days ago, and Deadpool's trying to keep his streak of the Duckling Supreme run alive. Yeah, you're not wrong, Zerocool. That's a dangerous matchup that I wouldn't want to face the winner of either. But I think, you raced well here. You never know what's going to happen. Don't count yourself out for sure.
Yeah, I definitely need to refine my skills through my not practicing I haven't been doing.
And Fryteeth, who's Luffy got to look forward to in the losers bracket?
So we've got Zenobian is going to face the loser of the Dead Pulse Chanigan match, and whoever wins that will face Luffy.
Oh,
sweet.
So you're gonna get some of that action.
You get the other end.
I'm looking forward to it, actually.
And the or potentially the godfather of Bingo and Zenobian. So Zeno and Darkmoon been planning a double anti-bingo since last winter, and over the past few months they recruited Sir Link a lot, who's just kind of got his hands in all the events and super helpful in the community since he's been a part of it, and onto the Winter Dab committee. So lots of fun, lots of big events coming up. Winter Double Anti-Bingo is going to be going on for another couple weeks here as we march on through this tournament, and then in a couple, probably about 2.5 weeks, there should be an announcement regarding spring tournament, the big flagship event for Final Fantasy Randomizer. So that's around the corner. Where do you guys all sit with regards to that? Were you going to sign up for the spring tournament?
Well, I definitely am. I'm looking forward to it.
Heck yeah. What about you, Luffy?
Heck yeah, man. I'm going to be there.
Awesome. What
no
about
more
you?
bingo. I'll be there.
I'm going to get everybody verbal commitments into the spring tournament this year.
I'll be there.
Awesome. I love it. Like, being on the spring tournament planning committee, we do have some exciting stuff. Some changes coming for spring tournament. We're expecting a pretty big turnout based off the trends that we've been having, and all these new ducks showing up and just kicking the crap out of the vets. It's going to be awesome to see. I can't wait for it. Fryteeth, if you want to share any final thoughts, we'll get them from our runners and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, so just to our runners for any final thoughts tonight. Start with Luffy.
Well, thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Fryteeth, for doing comms. Danny for tracking. RPG Limit Break for hosting us. It was fun. Learn your bingo boards, fam. I had a lot of work to do, but it was still fun to do anyway. I enjoyed it. It was a learning experience, and all you can do is get better from that.
It's a great attitude, man.
All right, and Zerocool.
Yes, I definitely want to thank the team, everyone who's put all this together, spending all the time setting this up. yeah, I've been definitely learning the bingo boards by helping new people with their first time learning it. So, I've been bugging the team by technicalities, so that's always a good thing to do. But I'm looking forward to my next match. I'm looking forward to the spring tournament, and it's an awesome community.
Awesome. Thank you for the kind words, Zerocool. And Fryteeth, you want to take us home?
Yeah, so do we have any more races coming up tomorrow? I don't know what the schedule is. I meant to have that up.
Danny just posted a schedule. Tomorrow we have Gregory Puff taking on Sir Linkalot at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We got our restreamer, Lord Fizzle. We've taken on J-Man hanging out in chat. There's some hummings back and forth at 1 p.m. Eastern on Randomania. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern here on RPG Limit Break, you can catch Burt Reynolds taking on the Hangry Canuck as we got a battle from north of the border as two of Canada's finest in FFR take each other on. So 3 great matches tomorrow. If you don't want to miss any of them, hop on the Discord, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. There's a link at the bottom to join the Discord. You can slap that spectator roll on and never miss a broadcasted race. So, Fryteeth, my man, my comms partner. I talked way too much. I got a problem. You got to get me to shut up and send us home.
Okay, so thanks everyone for watching tonight, and have a good night.